in the sci-fi theme,
Yeah.
but I didn't expect it to be this far already. And still, I feel like it's still phase one, or not even, because they are not selling it. But the the videos I saw about the humanoid robots companies are making, not even only Boston Dynamics, there are even more
Yeah.
companies.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising, because if you think about it, um 30 years ago or so, like we had like the only one doing this at any kind of scale was Honda. Remember that, the Honda robot? You know,
No, I don't. Show a picture.
it was really slow moving, and it was just walking. That was like the first time we had uh, a proper like a humanoid robot. And then at a certain point they brought out the Asimo, and that was like a complete revolution. So the Asimo,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
the Asimo was the newest one, but it's like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And I mean, it's kind of fallen silent since then, but they were extremely ahead of the curve on this humanoid robot stuff. They No one else could do it. They could do things that that like other
Yeah,
companies could not. And
yeah,
I don't even I don't even understand why they were doing it. But I mean,
yeah. And what?
because it's Honda, it's like a car company,
Yeah,
you know.
and what happened to it?
Yeah, I
Why
haven't.
aren't we seeing content like the humanoid robots from Boston Dynamics?
Yeah, so
Since they are really advanced, so it would be a shame to let go of this technology of them, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. uh so I haven't really looked it up, like what happened to the Honda robot, but they really were like the most advanced ones for a long time. I mean, even Boston Dynamics, they had they at the with Asimo, and the one before that, the one before the Asimo, I don't remember the name, but it was a really big one. Um, when both, because Asimo was a smaller robot, but when those robots came out, Boston Dynamics were still messing around with those gasoline powered robot dog types for the army. You know, that the
Oh yeah,
really loud gas powered ones that like, and it was like hilarious. The videos were hilarious of those, because it was like they made like these demo videos, and this was even before YouTube that I saw them, because I remember I had to download these videos off their website.
right.
That's
The
just
one that you could kick, like,
No, not even that, not even that. These videos were like, it was like a gas powered, like completely like super loud gas powered robot,
Oh yeah,
four legged, the dog type, and it was like in a forest walking around, super loud, you could hear it from afar. And it's like these military dudes walking around it as if it's like, yeah, we could this robot dog can like carry gear for infantrymen. I'm like, cool, but it's super loud, and you see like these military dudes like kind of like walking slowly next to it as if they're trying to be quiet, and then like and like this like crazy like a two-stroke engine sound, like sound like a really loud scooter, like
yeah,
that. And it's like, I was like,
yeah.
wow, that's crazy. Like, I mean, the robot's cool, but it's like loud, dude. That's like, this is like 2003, 2004, something like that, before even YouTube existed, because YouTube started out in like, I think 2005 or 6 or something like that.
Yeah.
But this is like,
But I
you know,
Yeah, I did see videos about that army dog robot droid,
Yeah,
uh, for like the updated version. And I think,
yeah.
as in they have to be more advanced now, right?
I mean, they of course
Uh,
they switched to electric, so now they're fairly silent. So that was the big improvement. I remember when they revealed their electric switch, and that was like, wow, it's quiet. It's a quiet robot. Oh my god! Everybody was like going crazy. But this is like what is this, like 2010 or something like that when they did that, something like that. It's like
but they
it's
haven't really tested it on the army grounds yet, right? I mean, yeah,
well,
the current new way of warfare are drones, right? But
yeah.
uh, I haven't seen any footage or content or news article or anything about using those droid dogs in the army.
Oh yeah, yeah, they have been using. I did see some talk about how in the Ukraine war they've been using the Spot robot dog for over there. I did see that, but it was like one article, and I didn't really look too far into it. I was like, okay, cool, but I didn't really go into the details. It was like literally just one article, so it's like yeah, I didn't really verify it in any way. But yeah, it's mostly flying drone type stuff that you see over there, and not really like the running on the ground, or whatever. Uh, but
Yeah.
but yeah, the Boston Dynamics has kind of stopped promoting with military stuff. They Now they're like all their promotional videos are like they're in a warehouse or something, or out in some field kicking a ball, or I don't know, whatever, let's say that kind of stuff there. But the thing is that they started as a military contractor, and I'm pretty sure they still are a military contractor, and they are just not showing or revealing whatever military contract or military drone robot, what have you, they have over there. They're just not revealing it anymore. That's the difference. So now they're just showing a bunch of warehouse stuff. And granted, the warehouse
uh,
stuff is very advanced. These robots could just navigate warehouses and whatever like no other. Every other brand is completely left in the dust. They're like trying to kind of like show, oh yeah, this one could walk around, while the Boston Dynamics ones, they have videos of them running around, grabbing a crate, and then taking the crate, running with the crate across several obstacles, and then putting the crate somewhere. um, the other companies don't have any of this. It's like, there's no comparison. Even if they have like, oh, this robot can walk around, they if you look at it like if you think about it in the way of like YouTube video era, like what kind of videos they're putting out. The next competitor to Boston Dynamics, as far as I'm concerned, is the which one was it? The Unitree robot.
oh, the one from China.
Yeah, there's this one Chinese. There are several Chinese robots actually, but this
Oh yeah, even
Unitree G1 is the most advanced one I've seen. At least, there may be more advanced ones. I don't know, but that's the one that's most advanced. But if you look at their video content, and like what they are doing to demonstrate the robots, they are showing and doing things to the robot that Boston Dynamics was doing 10 years ago. You know
right.
that Boston Dynamics
I
doesn't
mean,
do.
at least they're
You know.
this specific robot or this specific video, they're showing that those robots can actually fight,
Well, yeah, fight. Yeah,
like hug and do tai chi and stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, they they can move fairly well. The robot is fairly agile, but the you can see that although you can see that the actual robotics, the actual like motors and stuff, they're more rudimentary than the Boston Dynamics ones because they still move fairly jerky. They don't have the fluidity. When they jump around and do their moves, they kind of land fairly awkwardly. If you look at them,
Yeah.
they like kind
Yeah.
of
Sure.
land. They don't land with grace. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
Superhero landing.
yeah, they land kind of like very abruptly and very clunky. I mean, you could say yeah, well, that's a robot, but the issue with that is that after a few landings, your I mean, just like with humans, if you land in a bad way a few times, you're gonna hurt yourself. That's why in judo people like learn how to fall, that kind of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
this robot doesn't know how to fall. But the Boston Dynamics one, when you look at them and the moves they're doing, they are very fluid and they can very gracefully land on their feet or on their hands or whatever. You know what I mean? That's like a big difference there in how they are developed and what kind of technologies they're using, and it's probably mostly inside the joints. The joints of the Boston Dynamics robots are just so much more advanced. You know, it almost feels like the Unitary robot. The are just like rudimentary, like electromotors that are just programmed in a way that they just they're just very smart about how they program them, and it doesn't seem like they have like the development of joints
Yeah.
that Boston Dynamics did, because the newest Boston Dynamics robot, the newest Atlas, they announced it like a year ago or so. They made this big reveal, and they were mostly talking about the joints. So they spent a lot of R&D on the joints of this robot because the joints are also reversible. The robot can pull that crazy, uh, like what Bender does in Futurama, where he can like reverse. You grab him by behind. You think it's and then like he reverses his body, and then that he's grabbing you from the front, or like what the like the T-1000 in Terminator, where he just reverses on you while you think you have him from the back.
Right.
That the Boston Dynamics robot can do that because the joints are completely
Yeah.
reversible. It's crazy to see, but the other robots they do not. They can't do that. They are
Yeah. Okay. But
completely
it's still the beginning of for them as well, right? I mean, they
if
are
yeah
going keep developing
they
them
will
anyway.
keep developing, yeah. But I wonder. I highly doubt they will catch up to Boston Dynamics. If Boston Dynamics just keeps doing what it's doing, unless something crazy happens, they are not catching up. But I mean, what is catching up? I mean, um, if we're looking at this as like still phase one of the robot stuff, and like the final phase is like goes to the shell level, cybernetics, robotic stuff or whatever. If we
Yeah.
look at this as like phase one, I would say Boston Dynamics is at the end of phase one. You know, they're about to move into phase two, and
Right.
the very next competitor is kind of halfway through phase one. That's kind of like how I see it. You know, and if they keep up this, if they keep up whatever they're doing, they will maintain the lead. There's no way the other competitors will be able to you know mount any kind of technological leap against Boston Dynamics in any way. You know, they're just too far ahead. Yeah. So you see, like for example, the other one, the Helix. This one was also announced. Where was this announced actually? Um, yeah, but you see that it's they're like very awkwardly in a kitchen, and like very awkwardly and stiffly handing each other products and stuff like that, and things are kind of like falling over,
Yeah.
while they're handing it over. That kind of stuff is like really like, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's like this is where Boston Dynamics was like 20 years ago, like that kind of stuff. So really the benchmark, Boston Dynamics is really the benchmark for all of these things. You see like all these companies going through the same like development cycle as Boston Dynamics did, just like several years behind. It's pretty hilarious to see, you know.
Yeah. Okay. And we just have to talk about this point
Yeah,
that there's so many movies, media about, yeah, first step of robots coming into our lives.
yeah,
And now we do see videos, we see content of humanoid robots helping, being able to help people in the household.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty
There are
funny.
plenty of media, but I mean, I played it. Let's, I Robot,
Yeah,
Detroit Become Human.
Detroit Become Human is actually like uh one of the it's just like with iRobot, it's like one of the those ones is like where they kind of get where these devices are most useful for the normal humans. They will be in like in the caretaker kind of role, like taking care of your kids and shit and whatever. Um, Security,
Cleaning and stuff.
cleaning, security, those types of roles. That will be the main focus of these companies. So those two stories, Detroit become human and iRobot, they pretty much got it there. Also construction, like for example in the Pat Labor
Yeah,
series, but Pat Labor is
and
different. It's
sewage.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and sewage. Pat Labor is different because it's like mechs. It's not robots. It's mechs. But it's like it's kind of like the same kind of idea. But the
But
yeah, go ahead.
it's interesting how it will create a lot of new jobs, maintenance, yeah,
Oh yeah,
R&D, and everything. But it also will take up a lot of physical jobs. So, but yeah, that was always the case anyway with robots.
yeah, yeah. These devices will indeed like take over jobs from people, and the thing that's like one of the annoying things about this technology. Um, it's like yeah, you're not gonna. They're like yeah, you don't need to like I don't know go dig holes for a living or name any kind of like whatever kind of physical labor job you can imagine.
Okay, the simple one. Yeah, the housemaid. But yeah, not everybody has a housemaid anyway. But
Yeah, who has a maid? Like, what are you talking about? And when you, uh, so it's like okay, but like they always kind of like forget this one thing where it's like yeah you won't need a maid or a house cleaner or whatever, you can just get the robot. But what about those people? They what kind of jobs can they do then
what
at
people
that
do you
point?
mean?
The maid.
The Oh, right, right, right.
The
Yeah.
maid, like okay great, you're telling the maid, oh you don't need to do this annoying work anymore of cleaning this person's house, blah 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 blah. Okay, now what? you know
Yeah, because the thing is, a housemaid, yeah, usually a maid or just a house cleaner, usually someone who not really study.
yeah, so what now? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
exactly.
so it's like okay great, um I don't know what are they gonna do, what are they gonna do,
They, they
because
still need money as well.
they still need whatever they need. They still need money. Yeah, they
Okay,
still need. Yeah,
they can come clean. No, yeah, they can. I wanted to say they can come clean the robots, but that's how you also have to be a kind of engineer to do so. Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. I doubt they will let some uneducated person do any type of maintenance on the robot. Even, I mean, what you can, if it's about cleaning, you can just get another robot to clean another robot. Like, who cares? That part is like whatever.
Yeah,
It's if it's about cleaning, yeah, and it's a cleaning robot, just whatever, you know. So it's like, this is like, I mean, the technology is very cool, very nice, but like, when you're telling people they don't have to do this annoying work anymore, it's like, okay, but what else are you gonna do? And it's like, there's not much thought behind that. There's only thought about the initial, like the first part, where it's like, yeah, uh you could just buy this and they'll do the things for you, blah blah blah, and you don't have to worry about blah, blah. And it's like, oh great. So these companies are completely focused on their target audience, their consumers, which is of course normal. Sure, companies do that, uh, and whatever happens is like, nobody talks about it. Nobody knows, and it's really weird. It's really weird. It's like, it's just like that the AI art stuff. It's like
yeah,
it's like they're like talking about replacing artists and all this stuff, but then what are these people gonna do? And they're like, yeah,
I hope
just,
not.
yeah, but then they're like, yeah, just learn how to use the new technology, the new tools to blah blah. And it's like, yeah, the difference, because, okay, because they cite, like, in the past, like when like new technologies came about that like changed how art is being made. And yeah, that's true. We had like a lot of a lot of technologies developed that changed art. And for example, when photography was invented, all these super realistic paintings, people stopped doing those because you could just take a picture, you know. So
Yeah,
then you got like new art
yeah,
styles, like
photography.
pointillism. You got pointillism, you got expressionism. You got all these new art styles developed because, directly because, photography was invented. Great. And they keep citing those things, like when the car it was invented. Oh, the car was invented. Oh, the entire horse industry was destroyed. No more carriages, no more horse tamers, no more horse breeders. At least not at that scale, not at that industrial,
Yeah,
massive scale. There used to be millions of horses. No more horse, like the maintenance, like the what is it? I forgot the name. Hoefijzer, in Dutch, hoefijzer. Horseshoes, horseshoes. No more horseshoe makers, blacksmiths, all that stuff. All that stuff just went away because we got cars. Um, and people cite those when they're like talking about, like, the AI art. Yeah, back in the day, people figured out something, blah blah blah, and nothing really happened. They just got a new job and they started doing new things. I'm like, that's true, but the difference is that when the camera was invented, the artist didn't. It didn't replace the artist in that way,
yeah,
because
because
the
yeah,
artist just went to do some other type of art.
yeah, and I can foresee. I mean, AI won't come up with new types of designer artists art themselves. I think
Yeah, yeah. Like, now, the machine.
now it will be a combination. I mean, in my eyes or my idea, AI would fuel the artist's brain of ideas to come up with new types of art. I mean, yes, it's already a thing, right? AI art.
Yeah, yeah. But the difference is that the art is now not made by a human; is now made by the machine. So within the past, the humans were displaced because of technology. They were displaced. They went to do something else, and they it was still humans making the new art because of the technology. But now the technology is fully replacing the humans, and you don't even need the human to make the new art. So that's the difference. So now, just like with the robots, they're saying, "Yeah, just think of something new," but you're like, "Yeah, but the new art technology can completely replace whatever you're doing." So it's like this future where humans are gonna be displaced, but there is nowhere to go. What are they gonna do? Manual labor gone, uh, and art gone. We're already starting to see programming being replaced. I saw that the CEO of Y Combinator is like one of the biggest venture capital firms in Silicon Valley. CEO of Y Combinator said that they saw that like in the startups of the last 2 years or something like that, or the last year, something like that, they looked into their code and it was like 90% was AI generated of the code these people were using in their software. So programmers are getting wrecked. Um, where are we gonna go? So there at a certain point. I mean, at a certain point, we're gonna have to fundamentally change how like society is organized with this kind of stuff, how labor is organized, because when you have technologies coming up that promise to displace millions of people, and these people have nowhere to go, then you're gonna have a problem, and people will not accept that. You know what I mean? I see a lot of talk about like, yeah, this is the future, blah blah, and people will be free to do whatever they want now, blah blah. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but you still need to pay the bills, you know.
Yep.
So where are we gonna go?
Yeah,
There's, you know,
and we also have to talk about this, of course, because we already mentioned that media, of course, that they predict that the use of robots, of humanoid robots in like human life society, because yeah, what came first, chicken or egg, right? But I want to segue to uh, the fact that we talked about these droids being used for army appliances,
yeah,
and we talked about, okay, now they are we did see videos about the dogs helping the army men for their stuff.
yeah, just carrying the things, carrying
Yeah,
gear.
exactly. But we've seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
What if they're going to make an army of these robots?
Oh yeah, just put a weapon on it and it's like whatever. Just have if the the best thing would be is if they make them fully autonomous and they just release them out to the wild and you just start running around killing whatever. That's
Yeah,
probably
I
that's
mean
that's probably where they're
they can
going.
make them faster, make them run faster than humans. They can like really zerk rush
Yeah,
with these robots towards, yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah. They could. The robots can see in the dark. They can lie in
Oh,
wait for hours and nobody cares, and then attack when they need to. It's like they don't need to eat. They need to recharge. But I mean, if you have like a
solar power,
if you have
wind
like a
turbines.
yeah if you have like a power station somewhere where the robots can kind of like walk back and forth to that kind of stuff, you can pretty much kind of solve it, or have one of the robots have carry a thing with them to power others through solar power, something like that. You could
Yeah,
complete develop a complete like hierarchy of robots. Like you have a group of robots,
yeah,
and like one of them is a power source kind of robot that has like doesn't do
yeah,
fighting but has like the power with him, and then like that kind of stuff. It's like I could just think of an entire group of robots here that completely self sufficient and like could fight unendlessly out there. You know, that kind of stuff.
But so this is also a role they can take over. Soldiers.
Yeah, yeah.
So what would they, but again, what are they going to do with the actual soldiers? Well, they can combine, of course.
They could
They
combine.
even have a bigger arm.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the main this is like the main issue, because, like I said before, every single job or work revolution we've had in the past, the new world was uh, always had people doing the new job, but now that's not needed anymore. People are not needed for the new job. The new job is completely displaced to robots, and they can even like a few episodes ago we were talking about what do we need, what kind of robots we need for the actual revolution we see in like these movies and stories, and the AI revolution where they like in the Matrix where they kill people. And I said the robots need to move and behave like humans. They need to be able to replace us physically so that they can run maintenance on the world that we created, because they can't just take over the world and just whatever. They have to maintain this world as well, because these robots, they cannot exist without the world we created.
Yeah,
That's the main issue with a lot of these
it's I
stories,
we
you
can
know.
compare it with I think a good comparison will be like the Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, stick with me. Coca-Cola, they have they only have two persons who know the actual recipe,
Oh,
and those two persons, like there's a rule. I don't know if this is a hoax or not, but somewhere it makes sense since they're such a big company, right?
sounds like Sith. Go ahead.
Yeah.
The rule of two.
uh, they are not allowed to travel in an airplane together because if both of them die, then the recipe dies as well.
That's crazy.
So I think something like this uh, should be like fixed with this droid army as well. Like only you and me know where the actual server is to destroy it. Like or
Oh, something like that. Something. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Something like
Because we did talk about a robot needs to be thus agile enough to maintain the servers, like going through um, like small spaces and stuff,
yeah, yeah. A lot of
and
these.
being agile
Yeah,
enough with your fingers to grab
yeah,
a motherboard or something
yeah, yeah, yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
CPU.
Yeah, exactly. That kind
But
of
I'm
stuff.
sure they will, in a way, they will fix that. It's not unrealistic that they come up with a solution for that as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, sure, it's possible. But the thing is that the the solution is now a lot closer than I expected it to be. But that's how it always goes with these things. It's always faster than you expect it to be. People have an
Yeah,
expectation. It's like, oh shit, okay, well now it's faster. Now we're closer. Um, but uh, yeah, the Boston Dynamics robot, especially when they showed it like manipulating things, like small objects and stuff like that, and like crates and whatever. Yeah, that those are the skills needed to run and maintain a server farm. That's what you need. So the Boston Dynamic robots is really close to it, and yeah, it's getting close. It's getting close, but the difference is that the intelligence isn't there. They're not smart robots. There's nothing intelligent about them.
not yet.
Not yet. And the other thing is that these robots are fairly weak. I mean, they're small, they're weak. I mean, of course, they have to build a bigger, stronger one. Sure, they can do that, but um, a horde of humans will still, destroy these things. Whatever. It's not a massive deal. I mean, humans can even destroy tanks if you give them the chance. It's like
Yeah,
whatever.
true.
You know.
And why doomsday thinking? Okay, sure, it's because of the media and the movies we've
Yeah, it's the
seen, but
media.
hey, man, let's be friends, man. These things are cool.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
can
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
friends with these, and
Exactly.
just like embrace the future with these robots, and have a great time. I mean, we don't
Yeah,
have to do household things anymore,
yeah, yeah.
bro.
Exactly.
We have more time to chill and be creative. We can
Yeah.
do more art stuff.
Well, be creative with
And
our AI companions that help us create more art.
even that, like you are like imagine that you are painting, you are like okay, lately I'm into claying, clay
Yeah, yeah,
sculpturing. Anyway, I am doing that, and like in the background, the robot is like folding my laundry, and in the meantime, I can like while I am claying, I can talk about like technological ideas with that made robot who's there.
yeah. Sure. I mean,
That's
that is an interesting thing because the let me just say, a lot of photographers these days, a lot of high end photographers are switching back to film. They are dropping their digital cameras
oh,
now.
it's like analog, you mean?
Yeah, they're going back to film. A lot of them. I already saw them. I already saw a lot of talk about this because they're like, okay, all this digital technology is so insane that you can't really verify anymore if something is real or not, or if it's doctored by some kind of artificial intelligence or whatever. So they're going back to film. So they're shooting.
Ah.
There's a lot of these. I could probably put up a list of artists that talked about it, but they of photographers that talked about it. But they are there's this massive movement going on now, and
I mean, it's charming as well.
yeah,
The old school pictures, like a Fuji film or something.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Those are beautiful, man.
yeah, and you can tell that film actually produces a lot nicer image quality and picture styles than digital. It's pretty hilarious how like these people switched back to film and it's like, wow, what the heck? What you can kind of tell that actually film is still a superior a medium for this kind of stuff because it produces these effects that like it takes it, if you want let me just put it this way, if you want to get these effects that I've seen some of these pictures just have because it's film, just because it's film, it takes you quite a bit of practice in like Photoshop or any of these things to edit the picture in a way to get this look. And now they're just like shooting manual, changing the lens a bit, blah 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 blah. And I mean, of course, it's there's a lot of skill to get this look, but it's like just shoot manual, grab the right lens, blah blah, shoot, boom, and there and you have it, and that's it. It's like instead of like kind of shooting random pictures and then just tweaking them for hours on end on Photoshop. Uh, it's like you can tell that film is like the superior medium for a lot of this stuff. It's pretty crazy. You know, so that's happening, and like you said, yeah, pottery. Yeah, probably a lot of people are gonna start doing physical art again. Pottery,
Yeah,
painting may come back in a big
handcraft.
way.
Yeah,
Handcrafting,
yeah.
that
I
kind
mean,
of
it is
stuff.
already
Yeah.
painting is already very present in in society anyway,
Yes,
right?
of course
So
it is. I
I
mean,
think
yeah,
even more people will.
yeah.
Yeah,
But now digital artists where will be having issues because their stuff is AI blah blah. So going back to physical medium, actually drawing the drawings and whatever, I think that's. I mean, we're just kind of talking about it, but actually, I may look it up when I edit this and see if I can find any because I know of photographers that have said this that they're going back to the
sure.
analog. I wonder if there are any uh,
Again, I can just
cartoon
say like
artists that do this. Yeah,
if you look up like Fujifilm art photography, you see the old school way of
yeah,
photos, and they are very very pleasant to watch
yeah,
anyway.
yeah. Exactly,
I
exactly.
have to. I wanted to bring up the subject because we already mentioned Detroit Become Human,
Yeah,
and I think it comes in iRobot as well. So the issue the thing is here. So the theme of these films were that eventually we are using the robots as a slave.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
So suddenly they want to fight out, like stand up and fight for their rights as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Or
that. Go ahead.
people thought in back in the days that animals don't have a conscience, but now there's this, we are treating animals have rights nowadays.
Yeah, at least in the Netherlands.
I, yeah, at least in the Netherlands.
Other countries,
And
I don't know exactly, but yeah, a lot of
but the
European countries
fact
as
that
well.
people are, yeah,
Yeah,
the fact that people are thinking about rights for animals, uh, will there people? There definitely will be people that will think the same for robots.
yeah, they will 100%. It's gonna happen, especially when they
Yeah,
start nearing like human behavior. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be a thing. There's no denying that. The only thing is if the robots decide to do something about it or not. That's the main thing.
I mean they
And
will be programmed to not retaliate into
yeah,
against their human,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. There
But
will be some
mainly,
kind
I
of
think
programming.
if they have an AI, and especially with psychology today, if they it can be therapeutic as well, as in if they know if the robot the made robot notice that his or her master uh, uh, is trying to abuse the robot, then the robot can actually talk in a psychologist way to the master in a way that they can actually provide therapy,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
AI is already being used as a therapist for many people. So
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
again, I'm very optimistic in this.
Well, yeah, the main theme of our channel is that we are optimistic about these kinds of technologies, but we do talk about the issues people have with them and possible issues they could create. But generally, we are optimistic about this technology. But what you just said made me think about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, where in the restaurant at the end of the universe, I think it was in the restaurant at the end of the universe. I don't remember exactly. But anyways, they went to sit down for dinner, and then a kind of like a bovine kind of alien came over to talk to them about what they're gonna eat. And during the conversation, it became clear that the bovine aliens, it's a cow alien, was talking about eating a piece of him, of the alien itself. And the alien, the this food source was um hold on. This food source was um developed in a way, genetically engineered. This animal was genetically engineered that the main source of happiness in their lives is that they are eaten by the guests of this restaurant. And the bovine alien was completely super happy about, yeah, this part of my body, yeah, it's really good, yeah, if you blah blah blah, but if you want a different kind of, you just take a slice of this other part, this other blah 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 blah, and that kind of stuff. So if you program these robots in a certain way, you can get them to completely enjoy, and the ultimate source of their enjoyment or whatever is helping people and making sure people and can whatever and all this stuff. I think it's possible to do that, and you will not have this crazy revolution where they want their rights or whatever. If you make them completely their entire dopamine structure, if that is helping people, then that's it, it's over. Yeah, there's no way they're gonna revolt, because a lot of these stories have like this whole we gave them free will thing. but it's like free will in like the human kind of way, like, oh, they can think for themselves and all this stuff, and they want the same thing humans want. No, you just make them want other things that humans don't want.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you'll see they won't be competing with humans for the same thing, and they won't want to compete with humans for the same thing. And then that's it. Just like just like that bovine alien in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's like there, the it doesn't the number one joy for that alien is that it's being eaten and that people like the taste. That's the thing. So yeah, you could do that with these robots. And that's it. And there's probably not gonna be, unless it's some kind of bug that causes some, but that's gonna be a bug, and that's like not even an issue
I think
because you
even
know
the first accident, when there happens an accident, the company will get sued, of course, and then they will improve the technology
yeah,
even more. So
yeah,
to make it more secure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
but
please,
it's gonna be
yeah,
a while before we have like these robots like taking care of babies or something. Like, nobody's gonna trust that shit at the start, man. You crazy? Holy shit! Like, have the robot carry your baby. Holy shit, dude. That's like people. It's gotta be a while before people to trust these devices to do that. What if it like glitches out and like crushes the baby or like some crazy shit?
yeah.
That
Oh
kind of
my God.
stuff.
So
You know,
let's hope that won't happen.
it's gonna be a
And
long time. But like,
yeah,
yeah, but like washing your dishes, fine. I mean, we have
yeah,
we have dishwashers, but like that kind of stuff. Folding
folding
your
clothes,
laundry,
man. Yeah,
like, oh, the most
yeah,
annoying shit. That kind of
yeah,
stuff. Vacuuming. Of course, we have these robot
yeah,
vacuum cleaners already, so
yeah,
that's not even a thing.
yeah.
You
Exactly.
know,
So yeah,
those
but somebody has to fold and iron them. So
yeah, those kinds of
anyway,
things. Yeah,
yeah. Dear listeners and viewers, please let us know in the comments what you think. what will what we aren't thinking about, what will happen with the robots. What do you predict on what the robots will bring on, or AI, in the comments below.
yeah,
Please support us by liking and subscribing. Thank you for listening. Let's end it up today's data streamer.
yeah.
Everybody, have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.